We're really getting 5 new Transformers movies, insane news for Spider-Man 4 in the MCU, the Batman Part 2 finally has a script and official title, and insane news about the next James Bond reboot, including who's directing the film and who's gonna star in it. We gotta talk about all of this. Let's start with the day that I thought would never come. The Batman Part 2 finally has a finished script. Matt Reeves has turned it in. We have this photo of him in the background, and you can see the script for the Batman Part 2 right here. It's hard to read on the title there, it's a little blurry and out of focus, but you can see that the official title of the movie is just going to be the Batman Part 2, which I like it. You don't always need a subtitle, just keep it clean and classy. It's still projected to be in theaters in October 2027, with filming starting later this year or early 2026. I'm so hyped this is finally happening. So yes, we're getting 5 new Transformers movies, but the one that's stolen all the headlines has been Michael Bay is officially returning to make a new live-action Transformers movie for Paramount. This is pretty crazy because Michael Bay has not made a Transformers movie since 2017, which, in case you forgot, is already 8 years ago. That one's pretty much guaranteed that's going to be made, but there are other films in development. We're not sure if all these are going to get fully greenlit like the Michael Bay one or not, but they're also working on a live-action film from the director of Transformers 1, which is kind of a W because Transformers 1 was a great movie, did not deserve to flop. I kind of wish we just got an animated sequel to the movie, but hey, at least they're bringing him back to do a new live-action movie. They're also working on a Transformers and G.I. Joe crossover, and then there's 2 other ideas that are in secret right now. We got some news about Spider-Man Brand New Day that really gives us a great idea at what the tone and vibe of this movie is going to be. This is because they've officially hired a director of photography for Brett Pollock, who has heavy influence on obviously how the movie's actually going to look. Now, his previous works have not been great, things like Max Steel and stuff, Wonder Man that we haven't seen, not the greatest resume so far. But as the public does, they immediately found this dude's Pinterest account where he was putting together a mood board of inspiration for Spider-Man Brand New Day and kind of the vibe he's going for, and he's kind of cooking with this. So this pretty much confirms that yes, Hulk is going to be in the movie as Savage Hulk from these images that he's been saving here as like inspiration for what he wants to do on Spider-Man Brand New Day. But as great as that is, it's honestly these images that have me more excited for the movie. Like, look at how like dark, moody, atmospheric these images are. It really reminds me of like Daredevil Netflix TV show and stuff like that compared to like the previous MCU Spider-Man trilogy. It seems like we're really going to be getting really dark and gritty in this film. And obviously you don't want your Spider-Man movie to go like full on depressing or anything, but I think these images perfectly match at least what the movie should feel like early on, because obviously he's in a weird spot. No other heroes really know who he is. He doesn't have MJ or Ned anymore. He's living alone. He's broke. It should be kind of looking like this type of vibe. We got some other Marvel stuff about Spider-Verse and the Fantastic Four First Steps. This is kind of just a cool fact that came out today, is that Sunflower from the Into the Spider-Verse soundtrack is now the #1 most streamed song of all time. Like, not #1 most streamed song from a movie soundtrack, just period song ever, which is just absolutely insane. But this was just kind of the perfect storm. The movie was a big hit. You had some of the biggest stars in the world making this song, and it came out in 2018 right when streaming popularity like Spotify, Apple Music was at its peak. We got some new promotional images for the Fantastic Four First Steps that are kind of these in-universe magazines, because as we know, the Fantastic Four are viewed like these celebrities because they're really the only heroes around in their world. So you can see Sue Storm is on this fake magazine that's called Now, and then you have the Johnny Storm fan club on the right. We got a couple more with the Thing on garden tips, the cover of the magazine. I don't know what this dude's cooking. He's always wearing a sweater vest in this movie, it looks like, but hey, it's a vibe. And then we got Pedro Pascal's Reed Richards on the cover of School of Science. We got a brand new poster for the movie coming out next year, Project Hail Mary. This is starring Ryan Gosling and coming from Chris Miller and Phil Lord, the guys that do the Spider-Verse films. I have read this book. Actually, it's from the same guy that does The Martian. This is one of the highest rated books of like the last 20 years. I've read it. I don't think it's like the greatest thing ever, but it is a very good story, has lots of good humor, some more emotional moments. I do think Ryan Gosling is the perfect guy to pull off the humor that is in this book though. We got a ton of insane news about the new James Bond reboot with a new actor coming out, because now they have officially signed on Denis Villneuve to do the next James Bond film. And I'll get to the actors that are favored to play the next James Bond in a minute, but first we just got to talk about how insane this is. Like, Denis Villeneuve might legitimately be my favorite director. It's hard to pick between my top 3, but he only makes bangers. Obviously Dune Part 1, 2, and he's doing Messiah next year. We have Arrival here, Blade Runner 2049, Prisoners, all 5 out of 5 masterpieces. Sicario, Enemy, Unsung D, all great movies. I'm a little conflicted because I am not the biggest James Bond fan whatsoever. I haven't seen all the movies since there's tons of them, but I think for the most part they're kind of just fine. It's a very dated franchise. Like, I do love some of the Craig movies, not all of them are great though. So in one way I'm kind of disappointed that this is the franchise that Denis Villeneuve is attaching himself to, but at the same time he only makes great movies, and he has talked about like this for years, that he loved growing up with James Bond and the character, So I do think it is probably going to be a great movie and the best James Bond film we're ever going to get, probably. Now, Amazon owns the rights to the James Bond franchise, and the actors they want to play the next James Bond is not my favorite thing whatsoever, because they have Jacob Elordi, Tom Holland, and Harris Dickinson as three of their examples of actors that they would love to have the next James Bond be. I'm sorry, Tom Holland would be the most scuffed James Bond of all time. I don't really know if Jacob Elordi can pull that off. He is a great actor, but I just don't get Bond vibes from him. Harris Dickinson, I can maybe see. They're clearly going for a younger Bond that's going to be like under 30. If you made it this far, drop a like in the video. Let me know all your thoughts on this crazy news in the comments below. And if you want to see my movie reviews of all the newest releases like Jurassic World Rebirth, F1, Elio, and so much more, click the playlist above me right now. And thank you so much for watching.